Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 28 of the EFL 72 review. Plenty to get talking about this week through midweek games and weekend games. I'm joined by the usual culprits. We will start with Ian Bradley. Ian, who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? Let anybody who's new know who you are.
I wonder myself sometimes. I'm Ian. 60 plus, Rotherham season ticket holder, been a Millers fan for 50 plus years, and I occasionally do neutral vlogs for Over the Bar Facebook channel. I've not been too well lately, but I've got better. I had a chest infection, so I've missed the last couple of weeks, so I've been out of the loop of it. I put a bit of Vic on my chest, but Vic weren't really happy about that, so I had to stop.
So, what's she doing around your house like? No, it's great to know that you're on the mend, mate, and hopefully we're coming back very soon. Moving on to Jake, Chef41. For anybody new, let them know who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
I am a Sheffield Wednesday fan. I cover everything Wednesday. I do a Talking Wednesday podcast with a co-host called Debt 30 Box. We talk all things Wednesday. We're in a weird situation at the minute because I don't know what to put myself in this position with Wednesday at the minute. I'm just happy with what's going on and just enjoying the ride because we've had a tough couple of seasons where it's not been great. And I've been in your position, Dan, when we got relegated, where everything went to hell and every game was thing. So it's nice just to have a nice little bit of situation where it's a bit weird. And
yeah, enjoy it, mate.
Darren Moore should get a statue at some point, I think.
It's on the way. And to finish off, we have got Lee around the grounds. You'll see that there's a couple of balloons in the background. Before you introduce yourself, Lee, I do want to say congratulations on breaking 1,000 subscribers. Achievement unlocked.
Yep.
That's not too bad, is it? You'll notice there's some balloons in the background. Jake's got a little something for you, so just keep quiet.
Come on, work. Wait a minute. Get better.
Gets a lot better.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Lee.
Happy birthday to you.
That is an introduction, mate. So, Lee, if anybody's wondering what they've come into, this is not normally the introduction that we have. Tell people who you are and what you do and why you do it, mate.
Yep, so I'm Lee, 38 today. The balloons aren't for an early Wednesday promotion party. It's my birthday today. I'm Lee. Around the grounds, I get to different grounds when I'm not following Sheffield Wednesday. And enjoying bringing the content and loving the YouTube journey and being part of these lives on a Sunday evening. And appreciate the little shout out, guys.
Well worth it. As always, get your comments in. It does drive conversation as well as us running through the running order for the night. We're looking at League 2, then the Championship, then League 1 this week. A couple of comments came in. Callum was on it last night at 10:29. Wow. Early comment. Excited for the stream. Lizzie came in. Evening, lads. Mixed week for the Rovers. Therapy still needed, Dan. Not quite. It got better as the week went on. Callum said that his week's been dreadful. We've got Nat in the comments. Evening, lads, and chat. Ian getting some love from Lizzie. Ian is the bestie. ATID's in here. Expected a loss against Barnsley, can't lie, but Cal Burton and Nigel Lombike aren't footballers. If they are, me with my two left feet still have a chance. Good thing we beat Derby. Yeah, a really good win midweek, which followed up by
a small penalty.
Yeah, but we will get on to Barnsley Plymouth later on in the show. We've got Joseph up the Owls, and then Callum's replied with up the Canaries. Lots of birds in the chat.
I've just noticed Callum put in at like 10:29. He must have been like waiting for Match of the Day and turned it off.
Yeah. Getting a lot of love in the chat as well for Lee around the grounds. Congratulations on the 1,000. And
thank you, guys. Hey, Neil.
Lots of happy birthdays in there. Good stuff.
Cheers,
So
guys.
let's make a start on League Two. Let me just get myself in order. Get that on. And we will brush over Tuesday night because there's not enough words created to say how poor we were on Tuesday night. I think we were talking before we came live. I think we're all in agreement that when you go and watch a game of football, as fans, we can take any result, a win, draw, or a defeat. I think what we can't accept is a lack of effort or commitment, or just trying to put something together as a team, and that's what we got on Tuesday night. Just a lack of everything that we've been inconsistent this season, but that was just poor. So poor on Tuesday night. If you've seen my vlog from Tuesday, you know that normally I don't lose my head too much. I try and remain balanced and as fair as possible. And yeah, I just completely lost my head because I saw nothing in that gave me any hope for a positive end to the season. It was like we were on the beach already against a Harrogate team that had not won in 7. And you just look at that, 14 shots, 1 on target. It was poor. I can't even remember the 14 shots, to be fair. I didn't think we created that much. Harrogate deserved the win. But yeah, it was one of those where I wasn't looking forward to Saturday. So like I say, we'll move quickly on from Tuesday night. And then Friday, there was a post on social media saying that there was going to be a pitch inspection at 9 o'clock. 9:10 came on Saturday, and Vicky, my partner, if you don't know, if you're watching, she heard me say, "Oh, for fuck's sake." And she went, "Oh, what's up? Is the game off?" I said, "No, it's on." So I just wasn't looking forward to it because of the performance on Tuesday. But what we got yesterday was chalk and cheese compared to Tuesday. The first goal was shocking. It's going to be on a Christmas blooper DVD for sure. Mitchell won't want to see it back. But what I think it did was give us the impetus in the game, and it gave us a bit of a boost. And I thought the ball in from Charlie Seaman for Harrison Biggins' header was fantastic. The second goal, well worked, clearly a training ground routine that pulled off, and so happy for George Miller to get a goal. It's his first goal since scoring against Grimsby back in November, so it's nice to see him back on the score sheet. And Wimbledon didn't really threaten us too much until the last couple of minutes, where I don't know how he's missed it. A shot's come in and he's on the line and he's chested it. It's just bounced over the bar, and we managed to come away with the 3 points. And as silly as it is, I know I've come on and said that we're inconsistent and Tuesday was poor and what have you. We're 6 points away from playoffs. And
Yeah,
we've still got a game in hand, and we've got Salford on Saturday, so that's a huge game coming up. And I can't believe I'm thinking it, but it's the hope, isn't it? Doncaster Rovers always give us this hope where
it's the hope that kills you.
yeah. I'm sure it will kill me. I think we'll be 1 or 2 points away, and then we'll just drop off. I'm not expecting playoffs. I'd like to see us stay in League Two, to be honest, and build over the summer and give it a good go next season. I think that'd be the more the wiser thing to do for Doncaster Rovers. But a good result, a good performance to match it as well on Saturday. So yeah, it's not too bad in Doncaster this week. We've had a negative and a positive, so I'm quite happy with that. I mean, you guys saw the highlights. I think Ian, you said that you were impressed by the free kick routine, and
yeah, we're very clever. It was straight off the training ground because Miller just sneaked in, and nobody were picking him up at all. So it were obviously practiced on the training ground, and he finished it well.
It does show you that whatever's happening on training ground, some things are sticking. So that's a positive to take into it. I think when you see things like that, you've got to just take it as maybe some of the things are happening on the training ground. They're just not being consistently in all the games.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Lee, you're still getting quite a lot of love in the chat. Happy birthday, Lee. 3 points against Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Birthday present and 1,000 subscribers. So cracking 38th birthday for you, really.
Yes, was it?
Neil has asked about the Bradford keeper. So I think that's probably a good place to go. Let's bring who did the play? Newport. There we go. Thoughts on Harry Lewis, Bradford keeper, mistake yesterday with catching the ball outside of the area because of the faded rugby pitch lines and only getting a yellow card.
I've heard his idol, Nick Pope.
It's a red for me. I don't know if
It's
you
a
guys
red for me
agree.
as well.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
an absolute stone jug red card. To be quite honest with you, I mean, the rugby lines were about another 10 yards further forward from the 18-yard box, and that's where he were when he caught the ball.
It's a
It's a
really
red.
poor excuse to give. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with referees, this is where they let this things down. I think if they see the mistake that he's obviously watched it back, why don't they come out and say, look, old man's up, made a mistake, instead of just hiding behind the fact that he just gave a yellow card? Because
There's absolutely no comebacks at all, is there?
No.
The referee
I'm
can
all
have a
for-
shocking game, and then he'll still be booked to ruin another set of fans' weekends the weekend after.
I'm
Yeah.
all for ref being mic'd up. Mic them up, let's hear what they're saying, and then you got some clarity. And then if then it go back to say how Webb to have a look at and go, why you done this? Let's look this back. It wouldn't surprise me if you see in the summer we hear lots of articles, less about transfer stuff, but about how Webb is massively, drastically improving the refereeing decision. The only hope we got is actually having Howell Webb being the person to do it, because the man is a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Neil's come back in. I know it's a rule, but as he only had a yellow, just want to see what the thoughts on that decision were. It happened after 21 minutes, so it could have been a game
Absolutely.
changer.
Yeah.
Completely. I think
Absolutely.
sub-keepers on, down to 10 men.
It
70
should have been a
minutes still
red.
to play.
Yeah, I didn't question.
Yeah, got to be a red card for me, but
Yeah.
Andy Cook does what Andy Cook does, scores goals, and then it was an unlucky own goal from Ride Hall, is it? I think.
Right on. I don't
yeah.
know how to pronounce it, yeah.
He's trying to get his head on it, and he's just diverted it into the far corner, hasn't he? So I think Bradford will be happy with a point there, and they've got away with
Yeah,
one.
it keeps the run going.
Yep. Andy Cook is basically what Cambridge United Paul Mullen was for Bradford. You just know where the back of the net is.
Yeah. Next game I think we'll touch on is Gillingham having a fantastic second half to the season. It was dreadful for the first half. I think we all wrote them off before Christmas.
well,
I think I definitely did.
The January transfer window saved them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The players that they brought in January, it saved them. And it just shows you the value of sticking with the manager.
Yep.
Because Neil Harris now is doing great stuff.
It
And
makes
that
you
second
wonder.
goal were incredible. That little back heel.
Yeah.
There've been some cracking goals this week, actually.
There has
That's
been
funny.
some great goals this weekend.
To be fair, I think with Gillingham, I think there's a case for maybe it was a case of listen to the manager at the first part of the season. You probably higher up, and they didn't. And then new people have come in and gone, "What do you need? What do you want? Tell us, and we'll try and get it you." And he got what he wanted. And I think, yes, when he came into Gillingham, they weren't great, and he's tried to keep them up in League One, failed. He started the season not great. Like end of last season, he said they're all up for sale. He was he hadn't said anything before. I think Gillingham are going to be okay because I think you give him a proper preseason with players he wants, they're going to be up there next season.
I think they'll be top half next season, if not challenging for
Playoff.
promotion.
Yeah. They'll definitely be up there.
Yeah, backing's a big thing, isn't it? If the manager's backed and he brings the players in that he wants to have and work with, then I think Gillingham they've got a big catchment area. I think they're the only team in that
They're
area.
the only
aren't they?
league team in Kent, aren't they?
Yeah. So they've got a lot of resource to tap into, haven't they, in terms of fan base and what have you. So I think it'd be a shame to see them go down, but I think they're a long way from that. I mean, that win has moved them nine points clear of the drop, and some
all
poor
but
teams
safe
down
now.
there. Yeah. Joseph asked where I see Rovers finishing at the end of the season. It's a tricky question because it's such an inconsistent division. We're not the only ones who seemingly don't want to go up. I think everybody's losing games left, right, and centre who you'd expect to push on. I think comfortable mid-table between.
I'll go with 10th.
Yeah, we're going to say between 9th and 14th in and around that area, but it's not out of the realms of possibility that we put a run together and break into that top 7. I think somebody a little earlier on.
Toughies coming up though, Dan.
Say again, sorry.
I say you've got some tough games coming up.
Yeah, we have.
Salford, Northampton.
Yeah, I mean, and then Crewe after that at the start of April. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Callum,
Hey, what about that game on Friday night? Crewe against Salford. That were incredible. That.
I think we'll go to that one.
Yeah.
Take it away, Ian.
Crewe 3-2 down in the 90th minute. Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, sorry.
87.
Sorry, 87th minute. Yeah. I mean, when Salford scored their third goal, and there were some good goals in this game as well. When Salford scored the third goal, which near the end, the keeper was celebrating on the halfway line like they'd won the game. But Crewe, I mean, take my hat off to them. They come back really well.
Yeah, definite staying power in there. I mean, I mentioned it to a Wimbledon fan yesterday. The 4 teams that have come down from League One last season, none of us have done particularly well. You've got Crewe down there. Gillingham had a poor start to the season. Wimbledon just below us, and then we're mid-table. Do you think it's...
Yeah, but you'll all survive.
Yeah.
Nobody will make the double drop.
No, which is nice to see. But I'd have thought one of us would have pushed on and done something towards the upper end of the table.
Think League Two is a different kettle of fish than it used to be. I think when you come down from League One now, it's not the usual. We can go down, then get back up again. There's a lot of strong teams in there and a lot of experienced managers now.
There's a lot of clubs with money in that division as well.
Like you look at some of the managers there. You look, Mark Hughes for one. You don't expect him to be at Bradford at this moment in time, but he is. And you look at what people are building. Yes, it's normally a place to cut your teeth and start some of your job. You've got managers there who are not cutting the teeth. They're experienced managers and who know how to get experienced players. I think League Two is getting into that kind of thing. Don't think of it being, it's League Two. It's actually getting more exciting the more the seasons go on.
I think it's only going to get better with the teams with National League. You look at National League money ploughing into it now. You could possibly going to be getting a Notts County and Wrexham next year. It's only going to make that league stronger. So you've really got to not just get into your comfort zone, but
they're 2 teams that have been out of the EFL for long enough, aren't they?
Yeah.
There you go, Daffy. You got a job on Sky Sport covering League Two because they'll have Wrexham on every week.
Yeah, they will.
Well, BBC won't have us, mate, will they?
Yep.
Yeah, I think they've taken over from Salford as Sky's darlings, haven't they? Yeah, Wrexham. Sky's little darlings.
I'm looking forward to them coming up and seeing what they're like in League Two. See if Ryan Reynolds and John.
Rob McCallum.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds and the other
one
one.
who actually likes the football club, and Ryan was the one with the money. Basically, is how it works.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they bring to the EFL.
Well, they've got a decent fan base, which is always a good start.
I was just about to touch on that, Ian. I know clubs, they don't like to see just paying for promotions, but I think the clubs, the fans really deserve it. They've been through some dark times at Wrexham.
Exactly.
So I'm happy for them.
Notts County have been down there for a few years, but they're averaging 7,000 and 8,000 in National League.
Yeah, I've covered a few.
How they've done it as well. They've done it a community base, which is what you want to see. They haven't just come in and gone, here's the money, and now we're going to go away. They've actually given a damn about the place.
Yeah.
I mean, you've covered Wrexham a few times, haven't you, Lee?
Yeah, covered, and the fans are top class, really friendly. You can see, the proper football people. So I've been looking at the results. I hope they do it. To be fair, just for the fans' sake.
Yeah. Just to finish off on League Two before we look at the table, one that I wanted to touch on was Crawley beating Harrogate 3-1 this weekend. Get a klaxon going, Jay, because Jordan Much used to be a Rovers player. Gets on the score sheet on the 67th minute, and this was a surprise result. Crawley and 60 feet on the bounce, and it does boost their survival hopes a little bit. But I think the talking point from this, we've slagged their owners off quite a bit. Or questioned them, not really slagged them off, questioned why they're kind of running a club in the way that they're running it. £2 a ticket for this one to try and get fans through the gate to give the team a boost coming into the end of the season. I think credit
massive credit for that.
they've clearly seen that they're in a position where they need all the support that they can get, and what a way to do it. I mean, Crawley, it's down in London. I don't know if it's in the.
It's near Brighton. It's in Sussex.
Is it that far down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my geography, shocking. But I'm assuming the cost of living down there is probably more than what we've got up in Yorkshire. So to get to a game of football for £2, it's credit where it's due for sure. But yeah, that result massive for them. Big 6-pointer. Harrogate dragged back into it after a good win against Donny midweek. Before we go on to the table, let's just have a quick look. We've got Old Brick Gamer in evening. We have got Lizzie saying that we came back down from 2-1 down against Crewe. Under Darren Ferguson. I think I was working nights at that point. I had to leave early. Looked at the scoreline later and thought, well, bloody hell. missed the comeback.
3,000 at that game, Crawley.
Say it.
They got 3,000 at the ground, Crawley, for that game.
That's not bad, is it?
What's the capacity, Jay?
When you no.
Let me have a look.
Lewis asking if we expect Carlisle to do so well. No, I didn't think they were going to do as well as what they are, and we'll see where they are in the table in a little bit. Have you got capacity, Jake? Before us,
6,134.
So 50% full at £2 a ticket, and when you look at the position that they're in on a 6-game defeat, a 6-game run of defeats, I think that's worked, hasn't it? You'd have expected less there if it was full price ticket, but that win has put them 1 point behind at Hartlepool, 2 games in hand, so it has breathed life into their survival hopes, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, especially with Hartlepool only drawing. But Rochdale look doomed now, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, they won last week, didn't they? And followed up a draw, and it looked like they maybe turned a corner and they were fighting back. But then, when results go against you, just above you, a new fall to defeat, it just makes the whole horizon just look bleak, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
But I think Gillingham probably safe.
They're safe now.
Yeah, turned it around after January. Moving to the top of the table, look at Carlisle there, 64 points.
They're
having a
flying, aren't
fantastic
they?
season.
Paul Simpson's done a great job up there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Stevenage probably still looking over the shoulder.
Playoff picture is still interesting.
Yeah, they've started to hit a little blip, and then, like I said earlier, we're 6 points off, and we play Salford next. So lots of things can change in League Two for sure. And come back next week and see how it has changed. That's all I can say.
Yeah. If you win, that'll make it interesting, Dan.
Yeah, I'll start to believe, and that's where it gets dangerous.
Yeah,
It does.
So we will move on to the Championship. Ian, the floor is all of yours for Birmingham against Rotherham when I can find you. A damaging 2-0 defeat against a team in and around you. Talk us through
As
this one.
it turned out, it wasn't too damaging because the 3 clubs that occupy the relegation places all lost. So it wasn't that damaging. Birmingham and QPR have gone above us, but really, I'm really not that bothered about that because it's just survival. So we maintain the 8-point gap. But this was a poor performance. We got done first half really by putting in a no-show. I mean, that first goal, Kadira, it was a really, really good strike. Nothing anybody could have done about that. That was a great strike to put Blues 1-0 up. But the second goal, I've got a little bit of a bone of contention because it was a corner that was given. The ball was supposed to have come off Chio Ogbeni, but it came off the Birmingham player. It should have been a goal kick. But, I mean, you play to the whistle. They didn't defend the corner properly, and Kevin Long hit it in from probably the edge of the 6-yard box, 2-0, mountain to climb. We did improve second half. We had 1 or 2 attempts. I know we only had the 1 on target, but there were a lot of half chances that were blocked. There were a penalty shout where Trusty got hold of Jordan Hugel's shirt in the area. The referee didn't want to know. But yeah, a bad day at the office. It happens. But it's just, this is a game where I thought we could have taken something, even if it were just a point. It's disappointing. It's not too damaging, but we've got 2 home games with Preston on Tuesday and Cardiff next Saturday to try and put that right. And if we could get 4 points from those 2 games, I can see daylight. I can see us being safe before the last game of the season this time.
Yeah.
But again, there's a lot that can still go wrong.
Yeah.
But Blackpool, Huddersfield, Wigan, they're in no sort of form at all, and that encourages me. That really encourages me.
I think the
If
thing
they
with
keep losing every week, it really doesn't matter what we do, but we can't rely on that.
I'm just gonna have to shoot. I've been plunged into darkness, and I don't know why. We will move on to Sheffield United against Luton. So I'll get that on the screen, and I'm going to leave you in the capable, safe hands of Ian, Jake, and Lee to talk through this one, and I will be back shortly because I need to do something with the lights. I will be back.
Okay, no problem,
Okay,
Sam.
no worries.
Jake, you want to take the floor, my friend?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit weird. He went suddenly dark. I thought he had an epiphany.
You just need to stick a quid in me to.
Sheffield United really truly look like they're in trouble of blowing this here because whatever's happened recently, the form's gone. It's fallen off, hasn't it, lads? There's just something not right about them at the moment, and I don't know
with the way that Borough are raking up the wins. If I were a Blades fan, I'd be really, really frightened, to be quite honest with you, because I've liaised with a load of Sheffield United fans last night and today, and he said it was no sort of performance at all. So it was really flat, really poor. And Luton, although they didn't have the shots and they only had the one on target, deserved the win.
You put
But
50p back in the
are
meter.
brilliant at grinding out results.
Cost of living crisis, mate. We're screwed up here.
What happened, Dan?
It's just tripped. I don't know why. Maybe faulty appliance, something like that. It just flicked the fuse back on and flicked it back on.
Well,
flicked
at least
off.
they've not cut you off.
No, we've definitely paid his bill.
The thing is, Luton look like they don't write Luton off because Luton are dark horse for me to actually do well in the playoffs with what they're doing. Good goal
They're
as
a
well.
blueprint for the rest of the championship. I mean,
Yeah,
as
they
a
are.
Rotherham fan, Luton's the sort of club I look for inspiration. I mean, their fan base is similar to ours. The stadium size is similar to ours. The budget is similar to ours. Yet they do so much. They seem to be doing so much better because they've got the right players in the right positions.
I thought the wheels were going to go off when Jones went, and it hasn't. They just carried on where he left off and carried on. And let's also talk about it. Billy Sharp, I don't know how it's not been seen and not done, but he straight on punches that player as they go past him.
Punch him straight in the face, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The referee didn't want to know.
So surely retrospective action will come from that, because I remember earlier on in the season, can't remember his name, but Chef Wednesday lad.
Marvin Johnson.
Was it at the Plymouth game?
Ipswich.
Bit of an altercation in the box, wasn't there? And retrospective action happened there. So I'm sure if the cameras have caught it, retrospective action should happen with Sharpie in that one, I think.
I think a big thing for Sheffield United, I was listening to Fraser grumble on the way home from the fans.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, they were calling for his head.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I mean, it's
That's
madness.
ridiculous.
You're like, you're second in league. Just chill. I do
think though that the FA Cup run is damaging them. It's damaging them.
Yeah.
I also don't think off the pitch stuff is helping, because this whole takeover situation sounds dodgy as out, and it's still being investigated. Like, if you actually look at, there's a couple of clubs. Reading have got off the pitch issues. Birmingham have got the off the pitch issue for the sale of the club that didn't go through without letting people, the EFL, know. Like the
Huddersfield now.
Huddersfield are in a real mess.
football is falling apart slowly but surely, isn't it? I think it's going to come to a head where financially it's just going to implode, isn't it?
Well, that's why we need this regulator.
Regulation can't come soon enough.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Moving on. Lizzie's. Oh, I thought I'd missed a goal scorer then, but it's ex-Rovers assault klaxon for Billy Sharp.
Oh, right, yeah.
But,
Lizzie on the ball.
I know. Don't miss a beat. So it's opened the door for Middlesbrough, hasn't it? That defeat for Sheffield United. It's tightened that gap once again, and Middlesbrough took it, and they've shown a bit of fight coming back from 1-0 down against a struggling Swansea team. But
what a couple of signings Ramsey and Archers have been for Borough.
Yeah, I was wrong last week as well. It wasn't Aaron Ramsey. We had Jacob Ramsey. We had
Cancel
the brother.
that klaxon then. But
Yeah,
they're like Borough are like an express train at the moment, aren't they?
Wait, did they cancel Claxon? I can do that.
Oh, that'll do.
Is there anything your soundboard doesn't do?
You can't do it.
Don't test him, Dan.
Yeah, they're like an express train at the moment, Borough. Going 1-0 down to a possession-based team like Swansea didn't worry them at all.
No.
And they just come back in the second half and blitz them. They've got
it's made
a
it very
really
interesting.
strong squad up there.
If you're going on from last season, if Cooper got manager of the season in the Championship for what he did at Nottingham Forest, surely Carrick might have it in the bag if he gets them up.
And he's already been spoken about West Ham if Moyes loses his job.
Yeah,
I think he's laughed that one off though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he do right to just stick where he is. Managers
I'd
get
agree with that. I think
too ahead of themselves. Just focus on.
I think a lot of football journalists, if they're having a quiet day, can make stuff up.
Yeah.
Concentrate on the here and now, not what might happen in the future.
Yeah.
I think I agree with Lee with that though. I think if there is any truth behind it, that Carrick's probably better set staying at Middlesbrough and potentially getting them promoted, or if not,
Better owner.
I mean, look what a promotion would do on Carrick's CV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And if there's an owner that's going to back a manager, it's always Gibson, and who always looks after his managers well.
Yeah, Gibson's been a good chairman for a lot of years up there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Joseph's in the chat asking, does anybody think that Middlesbrough will finish second at the end of the season? Because I think Sheffield United's inconsistency away at the top six sides could cost them. I think for me, we've said it before on the stream that Sheffield United aren't playing the way. I think Heckingbottom came out and said it on Radio Sheffield on Saturday as well, that they're not playing like Sheffield United should or normally do. And they're being a bit too safe, and I think that what that's doing is making them nervy on the ball. It's creating these results that they've been having recently. And
I don't think they've been right ever since that Burnley game.
When they drew 0-0 at our place a few weeks ago, the Blades. I mean, I'm a Rotherham fan, but we should have beaten them, and they look really, really hesitant defensively. They were decent going forward. That and Dye is probably one of the Championship players of the season. Yeah. But defensively, I'm not saying they were all over the place, but they were just a bit panicky at times.
But Borough host Stoke midweek. Sheffield United go to Sunderland. Say Sheffield United lose and Borough win.
And Sunderland got a good win at Norwich today.
Yeah.
I've just forgotten something well, lads. Watford have done a Watford this week, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah.
What?
Not helped them.
What, lost or sacked the manager?
Sack the manager.
Both.
Yeah.
You've lost. Yeah.
Taxi for Wilder.
Yeah.
If he loses his next game, he'll probably get out on his arse.
Yeah.
Ian, you might get a job next.
I don't think I'd like to go there. There's one or two clubs where I'd like to have gone, but Watford's not one of them.
Ian, you
It's,
could
the,
sort out
it's
a really good
the championship's
compensation
poison
package.
chalice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort
Yeah, you've
out
got
a
to.
compensation package. You sorted.
Yeah, you've got to be something special at Watford, though, haven't you? Like you say, you lose a couple on the bounce, and you're on the chopping block, aren't you?
They're a weird club, Watford. They really are. Like the whole situation. I think it was this a summer transfer window where they bought a player for an Udinese, had him, and then I think end of the transfer window he went back.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
It's
strange,
so weird.
strange club.
Good win for QPR though. Helps him start his little revival.
Yeah,
they
they've got
needed it.
Lyndon Dykes back, haven't they?
Yep, they needed it, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do. I don't. It's a write off this season, but see what he can do next season.
I think they'll stay up though comfortably.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
agree with that.
I think Watford need to be careful because managers are going to now look at Watford and think, hey, I could get 3 months. 3
Yeah.
months job. Nice little payoff. They're not going to be cared, are they? Because they know what they're like. So you're
I'd
just
like
going
to
to
see
chop
what
them.
they've given Chris Wilder.
Lee, on
Yeah.
that
They're just giving him to end of season, or have they given him a 2 or 3 year contract?
Lee, on that case, then upsets Nathan Jones.
But no, I think you're right there, Lee, in terms of if I were a football manager, you'd be looking at that and thinking, yeah, I'd take Watford on as my next job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rent a
Yeah.
place down there for 3 months and get an FD payout because I've signed a 3-year contract. It's bizarre
Yeah, if
way
it
of
gets a
working.
rental deal, they can just say, no, I don't think I'll be wanting 6 months.
No.
Yeah. I mean, Wade Wilder walked into QPR's ground yesterday. He looked like he had that in mind. Right? Swagger.
So he's only on till the end of the season, according
Thanks,
to
Neil.
Neil. So thank you for that. Before we move on to League One, we'll have a quick look at Reading against Millwall. We talked about Reading financial difficulties, which could be costing them a couple of points this season
God,
or
this
possibly
sounds like
next.
a yawn-a-thon, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, not many opportunities, but the damage was done on the 11th minute penalty, and that pulls Millwall back into the playoffs. Question to you guys: I'll start with Ian and work down the screen. Do we think
Well-
Millwall's got the staying power to get into the playoffs this season? Simple, yes or no.
Because if you'd have said about 3 weeks ago, I'd have said no, because I'd have said the away form's not good enough. But results like this, and they're always going to be strong at the Den. So, yeah, I think top 6 is achievable. The playoffs is definitely achievable. And I think Rowett's done a fantastic job down there. Oh, I mean, nobody likes going there. You're always going to get a tough game at the Den.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think they will achieve top 6.
Lovely stuff. That was a good, simple yes or no, Ian. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't do simple.
Same question to you guys. Do you think Millwall have got the staying power to make top 6?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Oh, all
There you
right.
go, Ian.
Clip that down. Clip that.
Moving on to the table. So bottom 3, all on 32 points. Wigan, Huddersfield, Blackpool, followed by Cardiff, who were 6 points ahead of those, on 38 points. Rotherham, 8 points clear of the drop. I think that's a decent cushion, isn't it?
It is a decent cushion, but it's not. We can't get complacent. We still need, in my opinion, we need 3 more wins.
Like I say, keep an eye on Reading, Birmingham. Maybe what happens at Huddersfield and Cardiff don't sound financially set. I think it sounds like Tan's the only thing keeping them afloat at the minute.
Yeah, but I'd like to stay up on our own merits rather.
Yeah,
than
it'd be good. It'd be good for you to stay up on your own merit. But I'm just saying, as a whole, be careful what happens there because things
Oh,
could
yeah,
happen
yeah, true
really
enough.
quickly.
I think the
Well, I think
pleasing
we will
thing.
stay up.
I think the pleasing
I'd
thing.
like to go into the last couple of games not absolutely crapping myself. You know what I mean? I want us to be safe before,
Yeah.
though. No.
Yeah, 10 games to go in there.
Yeah.
Go on, Lee.
I think the pleasing thing for Rotherham, you obviously lost, but others lost. So when you're down
Yeah,
there,
very true.
And you've got a very good goal difference compared to everyone around you.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
only
that's
on
point in
-9,
itself, innit?
which is good.
Yeah, Yeah, it's a
In
point
fact,
in
I
itself.
think in our home games, I think we've got a plus 14 goal difference in our home games.
So he's shite away.
We're absolute babar away. Yeah. True.
So moving on to the top of the table, Burnley running away with it.
Yeah, they're over the hill
They're
bar
up.
away, aren't they?
You can say that they're being fairly inconsistent at the minute, though, with a win
Yeah.
and a draw
2
and a win and
draws.
a draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's interesting with Burnley because Twine's now coming to that setup after being like injured for most of it. He looks a quality player. He looks like the step up from League One to Championship. It looks like he never stepped from either or, does it? He's just stepped up really well.
yeah, I think Jonathan would agree with us that he's got bags of quality, and MK Dons are missing that quality for sure.
And also, I think that Nathan Teller has got to be probably one of the loan signings of the season from Southampton.
How much is
Surprising what we called
Southampton?
him.
Yeah, I wonder. It's that weird thing, isn't it? It's like Southampton must be like, why did we let you go?
Yeah, surely they've got some sort of clause in to recall him, but obviously
I
not all.
don't think anyone knows what they're doing at Southampton at the minute. To be fair, Dan.
Oh, interesting. Burnley given transfer embargo by the EFL 52 minutes ago on
Really?
Sky Sports News. So we will have a look at that throughout the week and maybe talk about that next week. But yeah, there you go. Breaking news.
Yeah,
Dan, you
Yeah,
You
missed
didn't get that
that's
on the 72 review, did you?
happy
Dan,
playing.
It's going to be quicker talking about the clubs that haven't got transfer embargoes, isn't it?
It's an immediate transfer embargo. So if they go up, they're going to have to really. Then again, they did just recently pay off their massive loan like really quickly, like 150 million quid they had to pay off, and it's all paid off.
Mm.
So interesting.
Dan, you missed a comment off of Lewis. That Donny guy is funny. There
I'll
you
take
go.
that. It's a serious show, this, Lewis. We don't try to be funny. It comes naturally, I think. But no, Sheffield United probably starting to look over the shoulder a little bit, aren't they? 67 points, Middlesbrough on 63, looking like they're hunting Sheffield United down for the remainder of the season. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, a couple of months ago, we said that the top two were done and dusted. See you later. It's all to do with the playoffs. That shows how much we know. We know nothing about football. But no, I think Middlesbrough will probably. I think they'll nick it. I think Sheffield United have probably got into their own heads a little bit, and then they're going to have to pick themselves up, brush themselves down, and fight out the playoffs, which is a lottery. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that.
And the Blades aren't traditionally very good at playoff games.
No.
No.
Callum, he's been in the chat quite a bit. He's just said Norwich, so we'll have a word about Norwich. Probably underperforming this season. You'd like to think that they'd be up and around third, fourth, something like that. But they're certainly not out of it, are they? Couple of
They're
results.
not out of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, they lost at home to Sunderland today.
Yeah.
I
They're a bit hit
would-
and miss, or something like that.
Before a ball were kicked, I'd got Norwich top two.
Yeah.
But no, they have underperformed, yeah.
Weird seasons. And when you think of manager situation, it's like one of the ones you don't want to call for managers head early, but it's like they should have gone a bit earlier than they did.
Possibly.
Yeah. Ainsley's in the chat. Never seen you rage as much as you did on Tuesday night, Dapper. Yeah, I lost my head. Completely and utterly lost my head. Like we said at the start of the stream, it's about commitment and effort levels from our teams. We can take a win, defeat, draw, whatever the result, but performance is. Danny Schofield says it a lot. It's about fundamentals, and that to me is the bang basic, just effort level. If you've got that and you get beat, fair play. But we had none of that on Tuesday, so yeah, lost my head on that one. Moving on to League One, we'll get the League One banner across the bottom. Good result for Barnsley midweek against Portsmouth, 3-1. They're looking pretty decent at the minute. We will touch on Barnsley in a while. Ipswich a 3-0 victory over Accrington Stanley. Massive result for Plymouth at home to Derby. That was one of those where we were thinking that could damage Plymouth's automatic promotion hopes, and they came out victors in that one. Ian, you've said it, at Home Park they're a different beast, away
They
from
are.
home.
They're absolutely incredible at home, and I think the fans help a lot down there.
Yeah.
I
They
think
pack
it's
it
a
all the
really
time.
intimidating place to go.
They
The
pack it all
crowd
the
are
time. It's only
on the backs
16,000.
all the time.
It's
Yeah.
Sorry,
16,000. It's 16,000 down at home park, and they pack it week in, week out.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Away
but
from home.
they're struggling.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
the
will go to
last-
Barnsley in a short while, but I think we'll start with Pompey against Sheff Wednesday.
Yeah, go.
Jake, we'll start with you because Lee went to watch Bolton against Ipswich, so he'll cover that one. But Lee, have your say on this one after Jake as well. It's one of those games, isn't it, where the champion is made, maybe?
Maybe I don't want to talk too soon, basically, because to credit to the lads as well, they only got to the hotel at 11 p.m. on Friday night. The travel down there was horrendous, apparently. Darren Moore's had questions about the coach company and it's not sounding great. But there's something about what Wednesday do at the minute is that they're resilient and they're in it together. And granted, the goal was 100% hoofball, but sometimes it works. Michael Smith puts his head on it, knocks it down to Windass, and Windass with a lovely little finish bottom corner. And you're
It was
thinking,
a
right,
lovely goal.
yeah, and he's celebrating goals all of a sudden. I don't know if his dad told him he's allowed to celebrate them now, but if anyone doesn't know, the celebration they did was basically like Windass being a driver, because apparently on the Friday, he went and picked up a lot of the lads up near him who couldn't get in because he had a 4x4. So he went and got some of them. So did Darren Moore and the club doctor, just to get them to the ground. But it's that kind of togetherness that we've not seen at Wednesday in a while. And I think Darren Moore just managed to bring it all together. Now, it wasn't without its controversies. Let's be honest with you. There was a bit of a incident where a towel got thrown by Palmer. The fans got a bit angry. Pompey fans got angry. Yet Darren Moore just walking around on the touchline with his hands in his pocket going, I don't know what's going on, kind of thing. And apparently one of the coaching staff went to get involved and he just grabbed him by his hood and pulled him back. Second half, they turned it up a little bit. They played okay. Pompey, I thought they did some really good chances, some great saves by Dawson. The second yellow by Orfer, not a yellow, but his first yellow was a bit of time-wasting game management. Not something you want to see, but at the same time, when you're at that position, it happens. You look at the player we brought in, Volks, Flint, Stockdale, the master of the dark arts. He did something about doing that. For a long time, we've never been known as that, the tagline from fans going, you're a dirty team or you're time wasting or anything like that. This season, we keep getting it a lot by fans, and it riles me up a little bit, but that's how you get out of this league. You don't get out of this league without being a little bit about you. The red card, it's not a red, it's not a yellow, to be fair.
And also, Jake, you're about the dark arts and being a dirty team. What about that tackle from that Pompey player that nearly killed, nearly took Wednesday player out of halfway line?
Raggett tackle was really bad. I've seen 4-0 written all over it. He said he won the ball. He said that he won the ball and stuff. And I watched the vlog, and there was a bit where one was saying I wouldn't want to watch that week in, week out kind of thing. It's
I saw that.
We got 60 odd goals. We're top of the league, and we're playing some good football. And for Wednesday fans, I think we're just going to keep it going. And just
must be horrible watching that week in, week out.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird
60
one.
odd goals, terrible.
The big thing about this is I sent it Lee during the show. Aidan Flint knows how to head a ball. I'll just say that. Anytime anything comes into that box, it goes the other way and up to the halfway line. But we put in a really smart performance, and we keep doing that. I don't mind. Like, I've noticed our away games, we only win about 1-0 or so, and we're really solid. But that's how you get out of this league. But I don't know what you think, Lee.
It's what champions do.
It is.
So I think that
It's just to grind out the away results.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. I think on this,
Wednesday are champions for me.
Cheers, Ian.
Not saying a word.
Right.
That's it. Curse at commentator.
Yeah. It'd
have to be a. No, Wednesday won't give it up. They're too
No, I
good.
don't think so either. But
Yeah, this result, massive result. I think going down to 10 again last season, we'd have definitely drawn, maybe lost this one, but it just shows real character with the lads, like Jay touched on it, with the travel disruptions coming down last on the night before. It shows character with the team, but also a calming influence on Darren Moore. He just rallied the troops, got them down, say, look, it is what it is. We're here to play a game. We're here to get the 3 points, and that's exactly what we did. Another pleasing thing, me being a Wednesday fan, I watched a clip of them celebrating after the game. You can see how happy they are to be where they are, happy to play with each other. Everyone's got a
nail with Dawson.
yeah.
Nearly broke him.
It's just great to see just a team spirit, but like that's just Darren Moore's calming influence, and he's just instilled that into him, and that winning mentality. Again, 1-0, clean sheet, down to 10 men. It's class to be a Wednesday fan at the moment. I'm starting to really believe that we can win a league title. Really am.
And also,
mentioned Liam Palmer. Well, 385 appearance for the club. He's now 15 plates joint on appearance for the club. If he keeps on going till the end of the season, he'll hit 394.
Yeah, amazing.
good player as well.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
good player. So that win for Wednesday has kept the pressure on Plymouth. But before we head to Plymouth, Lee, you covered Bolton again for the fourth time, did you say?
Yeah, fourth, I think it is. Yeah, couple of matches.
When are you getting the Fogden haircut? I hear
I told you not to mention him.
So,
brilliant.
before Ian starts kicking off about Thogden and his dad, Lee, talk us through this game. What happened?
So it was just a straightforward win for Ipswich. Played some very, very good stuff on the counter-attack especially. Bolton, really, really dreadful on the ball, to be fair. Tried to force it a lot and just wayward passing. Like, I've seen them, I think they were away at Barnsley, dominant display, total different outfit. Ian Everett must be frustrated with that performance, but you can't take it away from Ipswich. They got the 3 points and very professional performance and win, to be fair. George Hurst took his goal very well. Yeah, he took his goal very well just before the stroke of half time, which they deserved that lead going into half time. Bolton got an early second half penalty, which it could have been a different game, but a dreadful penalty, just so easy for the keeper down at his left. But yeah, credit to Ipswich, really deserving the win. I think Bolton, their worry is that final that they've got at Wembley. Are they distracted by that? Yeah. I'd be worried slightly. We've touched on Sheffield United, their cup run distracting them. It could be the same with Bolton. Who knows? But if they're not careful, they're going to get caught and maybe miss out completely at playoffs.
We at Rotherham had a massive blip just before the Pizza Cup final last season, and the results weren't good. And as soon as that were out of the way, we picked up again as league form. So it might happen with Bolton.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. But I think Ipswich, they've turned the corner now. They had that blip where dropping points. They looked a good outfit yesterday.
It's looking like their players are starting to gel, doesn't it?
Yeah. And they've got options on the bench as well if it's not happening. But credit to the Luongo was class in middle. He's made a huge difference putting him in. He really
is he showing what he used to do at Wednesday?
Yeah, gets things moving and opens his body, gets it wide. He's just always wanting the ball as well. He never shies away from it, which I loved when he was at Wednesdays. And he gets stuck in as well.
It's just about
a very strong squad, aren't they?
Yeah.
Definitely. So great result for Ipswich. And like we say, that's putting pressure all on Plymouth at the minute. We'll bring ATID in. His comment is He said, for us, midweek was brilliant. Don't care if Azaz dived. It's what good players do. And it left Derby fans in tears, which is absolutely fantastic. As for yesterday, CAC. We don't have a goalie, and Shuey's love for Lonvike will be our undoing this season. So kind of polar opposite to Donny this week, where we had a dreadful midweek and a decent Saturday. For Plymouth, it was decent midweek. Dreadful Saturday.
Just see Lizzie comment.
Yeah, I've just said the same.
That's for another show.
Do you want to go on another 2 hours?
I've got dinner to sort out and probably the electrics. So we'll
just about
save
to
that
get-
for another show, I think.
I was just about to get the popcorn out.
It's all right. I'll drop a DM.
Yeah.
There you go. Ian will slide into your DMs, Lizzie. Barnsley looking very good at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah.
This win moves them where I had some notes. I'm all over the shop. It's given a bit of a hammer blow to Plymouth's automatic promotion hopes, with Ipswich winning, Wednesday winning, and
Plymouth just can't play away from home.
no,
They can't. I mean, the last 2 away games, 5-2 at Peterborough and 3-0 at Barnsley. They're hammerings.
yeah, it's not good, is it?
But I'll tell you this much, Barnsley are playing some good stuff and they're really good to watch this season.
Yeah, and they've
when
got
they're
2
on
games
song.
in hand. And that brings them up to 72 points. I know we always say you've got to win those games in hand, but they're looking good at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Credit,
playoffs are nailed on.
massive credit to their gaffer. I mean, I think Barnsley fans
Good tracking job.
Yeah.
will admit that they didn't expect to be anywhere near playoffs because they were just going to be a season just
Got
swapping
managers.
and changing. Yeah, he's done an incredible job.
And
ATID.
they just slip under radar, don't they? Barnsley. Nobody mentions them, but they keep ploughing the results out.
Yeah. ATID said that he was expecting a loss, but 8-2 in our last 2 away games is shocking. Shuey needs to pick a consistent team, not change it every week. And he agrees with you, Ian. I think Pogba likes kids a bit too much for comfort. That's not confirmed. We'll just say that's ATID's opinion.
To be quite honest with you, we're in dangerous water here.
Yeah.
Moving on. MK Dons Cambridge.
Anyone got a lawyer on speed dial?
Wheels are falling off on this one, lads. Come on. But no, a great result for MK Dons in a weekend where everybody in and around them lost or drew. Vital 3 points for them, isn't it? And decent free kick from Easter as well.
Yeah.
But like Jonathan said in our private messages, they've got to follow this up midweek against. He did tell me.
There we go.
Accrington and Morecambe. So yeah, massive week.
Yeah, good points there.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just kind of breathed a bit of life into their survival hopes as well.
Yeah, I fear
moving
for
on.
Cambridge, to be honest with you.
I think
Yeah.
they're gone.
Yeah, Forest Green, Cambridge. Like we say, MK Dons have got Accrington and Morecambe this week, which are huge games.
But
Oh,
if
another-
Aki can win those games in hand, it puts them clear.
United getting Liam Manning in at the helm.
That's a good appointment to me.
Yeah,
I think he's got to be given the time, though.
they backed Carl Robinson for a while, so I think they've
Yeah,
got
they
the
did.
same power to
Yeah.
do. So I think it's a smart appointment.
Yeah.
Didn't
What a
he replace,
fantastic result for Burton again.
didn't Liam
Really
Manning
good result
replace?
beating Wickham.
Didn't Liam Manning replace Robinson at MK?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
Think he
did
did,
actually. Yeah.
There we go. So wherever he goes, he just follows. Moving towards the top of the table, it's fantastic viewing for Sheff Wednesday fans. 77 points, 2 games in hand. It's looking too good, isn't it?
One game at a time, mate. One game at a time.
Balloons are out.
Popping champagne next week.
Yeah.
But no, I know we've said that it's putting pressure on Plymouth in this in this episode, but it's in their hands, isn't it? The home form should see them right. Just got to.
Also, just remember, Plymouth have also got that cup final too.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, so it could all be a knock-on effect from just being a little bit distracted from league form because of the cup competitions, maybe. But we will see.
I do think that the top 6 as it stands now will be the top 6. It's just a case of the order.
Yeah.
Wickham have got 2 games in hand there, though.
Yeah, but they're very inconsistent. I mean,
Yeah.
Not the same Wickham as we're used to.
they're not the same Wickham. No.
Who's your top 2 then, gents?
My top 2 are Wednesday and, unfortunately for Argyle, Ipswich.
Go on,
Dan?
Jake.
I think it's a Yorkshire double. I think it's Wednesday Barnsley.
Ooh.
Possibly.
I'm going to go different. I'm going to go Wednesday Plymouth. I think Plymouth will turn it around and keep
What's
on.
your
I'd
with
love
way-
that
to see
second
Plymouth
place.
go up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Good
What about
side.
you?
I've gone Wednesday Ipswich.
I think
And if I
probably
were to
most likely,
take a
isn't it?
team to win the playoffs, I can't look further than Derby. I think they'll do it. I know they're inconsistent and I know they're not pulling any trees up, but Paul Warne knows how to do it.
Here we come. Ian's loving for Paul Warne. It was coming. He knows how to do it, though, doesn't he? He's been there. He's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But no, that brings us to the end of this episode 28 of the 72 review. We've just ticked over an hour. That has absolutely flown by, to be fair, lads. I didn't realise. I
We've
know.
had
that
everything. We've had power cuts. We've had a lawsuit. We're brilliant this week.
I know. Anybody who's missing this show, you are seriously missing out. Get your friends, your mum, dad, nan, dog, everybody watching it. Don't really care.
And we're having Fogden and his dad on next week.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting conversation. But no,
I don't think
thank
you
you
can put
all.
that
For,
on YouTube, Dan. That could have gone on a different platform.
yeah, we'd have to leave that as a private video, I think.
Lee, you're not going to be there next week, are you?
No, unfortunately, I'm jetting off.
Yeah, we'll have to either fill a position or we'll just have to revert back to a trio. We will see what happens next week.
Yep.
That's why
Well, no.
you didn't put Lee's name on the beginning.
Yeah, I just somebody else did it for me. I've not got in touch with him yet. We will get you on there, though. Neil said, "Great stream, lads. Thank you for the feedback. We appreciate it." Nat said, "Cheers, lads." So yeah, thank you all for spending an hour of your Sunday evening listening to us ramble about the EFL. It is appreciated. So thank you for getting involved in the chat and all of that good stuff. Lewis has said, "Get Nappers on." He is more than welcome to come on to the 72
Yeah,
review if
definitely.
he wants to. Top content creator, great lad as well. So yeah, moving around the screen. Just any final words? We'll start with Jake.
I'm off to go watch the players at golf and just enjoy the rest of that because I'm one of the sad acts that I like watching golf.
There we go. Enjoy the golf, Jake. Moving up to Ian. Any final words before we finish off?
No, a good stream again. Enjoyed it as usual. And see you all for my 61st birthday next Sunday.
Oh, have I got to make
Wow.
another one?
Another birthday. You'll have to do
I'm
another
gonna make-
one, Jake.
Oh, I could have fun. Actually, give me a week's notice. I could have some fun with this one, actually.
There we go. If that is
How
not
much-
a reason
how
to
much have I
tune back
said?
in next week,
How
I
much
don't know what is.
for cameo?
And finally, Lee, congratulations once again on your 1,000 subs. Well deserved.
Yep.
Happy 38th birthday. What a weekend it's been for you. Any final words? Anything? That's soundboard again.
Enjoyed it again, lads. Can't thank you enough. You've supported me since coming on this great live stream. Pushed me to be a good content creator and you've helped me with hints and tips. So massive thanks to you guys.
You did all the work, mate. We just
Yeah.
supported you.
Appreciate that, Joe. Thank you very much, mate. No, great live. If you like this one, obviously like, subscribe, and share it. Get it out there. It's a great live. I love being part of it. Talking football. It's what we love, innit?
Of course it
It
is.
is.
Yep,
It
definitely.
is indeed. I think that's probably said absolutely everything that I could say. So once again, get following these guys. All the links are in the description down below. This has been the 72 review. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.